So we're gonna get ready. We're gonna go ahead and keep it moving, and we're gonna get ready to get into this next topic. And so I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a taste about what we're about to get into, so I can get set up here behind the scenes. Karim Johnson, I need you to get ready. I need you on deck. I'm about to get ready behind the scenes, but here we go. Let's take a trip to Brooklyn and see what's going on in Brooklyn.
And the people are due that apology, and I believe they also owe me an apology as well. And I've come to terms with the fact that not only have I been set up, I've been set up in several ways on several occasions. PayPal has allowed me to accumulate over 400 cases. 400 cases. Hey, so I'm gonna talk to y'all. Thank y'all so much. Just wanted y'all to see how it look when we're in Brooklyn, baby.
I'm gonna let that run a couple more times.
Yeah, this is New York. We're in Brooklyn, New York. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Is Brother Polight back? Brother Polight is back in Brooklyn? Is Brother Polight back in Brooklyn? All right. Yeah. Hold up. Stay right there, Karim. Stay right there, Karim. It's about to go down. We got the infamous Karim Johnson. Huh? Y'all know when I touch on this, I can't touch on this by myself. Right? I got to go to the experts, right? I got to go to the ones who have knowledge, right, and experience. You understand? I don't claim to get up here and just talk all kind of shit like I know everything. No. That's not what we do with the Angry Black Man podcast, right? So I'm gonna play this. This clip from Brother Polight one more time for y'all, and then me and Karim are gonna walk y'all through this and help y'all understand what's going on with the pro-black scammers in the black community. And then after we do that, we're going to move on to something more pertinent as far as white supremacy and racism in our community. We're going to connect it to the Ahmaud Arbery case. We're going to bring it all together, okay? So y'all check out this Brother Polight intro one more time. Is he back in Brooklyn? Y'all pay attention. I got you. I'm coming.
And the people are due that apology, and I believe they also owe me an apology as well. And I've come to terms with the fact that not only have I been set up, I've been set up in several ways on several occasions. PayPal has allowed me to accumulate over 400 cases. 400 cases.
Now, Karim, do you have another device with you, Karim? You able to see?
Thank y'all so much. Just wanted y'all to see how.
No, you good.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, this is New York. We're in Brooklyn, New York. Peace, y'all. Peace.
Okay, so y'all know where we at. Y'all know where we at, man. So without further ado, I'm about to bring on Mr. Karim Johnson, okay? And we're gonna take it from there. We're gonna go ahead and get into this. Let me get my research screen up. Here we go. All right, let me go back to my Zoom. All right, and here we are. Let me make sure I look good over here. There we go. How you doing today, Mr. Karim? Salute, King. Salute. So, Brother Polight, man, I wanted to make sure that I got you on for this because this is in what I would like to call how when you play city to city, state, this is in your hometown, right? So I looked up and I saw that Brother Polight was back in Brooklyn, right? And when I saw Brother Polight, man, it's like me personally, I hadn't really seen him in a while. You understand what I'm saying? But it seems like he's campaigning. He's trying to make a comeback. And then when I saw him out here in Brooklyn, just walking freely, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all good, right? I felt like this needed to be touched on. So have the people forgiven Brother Polight? Is he good out there? From your point of view, what's going on out there with Brother Polight?
Well, I was in Texas yesterday.
Okay.
Right? I was in Houston.
Why you ain't hit me up?
Oh man, listen. I'm saying I was there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
At least I could say I was there.
Okay.
No telling where this dude was at. You see street sign? Was any street signs showing?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know
I didn't see no street signs.
Why didn't he pan out and show exactly where he was at?
Right.
And that you could have been anywhere.
That's a
A lot
fact.
of parts of the city look like that. It's just a regular New York City park. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Those parks look like that all over. All you seen is the gate. Show and prove. Show where you was at.
Now
Don't just show.
You were
Share with somebody and converse with somebody. Have a conversation with somebody like you used to do.
right.
You dig what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly. And see, that's why I'm finna come to you.
Show.
That's what I wanted to ask you because a lot of people have seen, and for those who don't know, I know you've seen because you're right out there. Let's just go straight to it. The 125th Street, right? Out there in Harlem is where a lot of his infamous videos and where a lot of, and this is where I got turned on to a lot of information. I'm talking about on YouTube, watching brothers get busy on 125th Street. Do you know this area? Are you familiar with the things that go on 125th Street and what Brother Polight was doing as well out there trying to bring the information to the people? Are you aware with the area? Uh-oh. Let me try to get him back in, y'all. I'm sorry about that. There he is. There he is. So are you familiar?
Yeah, I didn't.
I got you. Are you familiar? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Are you familiar with the 125th Street area in Harlem where he made his?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with everywhere in New York City, man.
So
name a spot I haven't been.
So talk to us about, because I want to put people in the mind state and in the atmosphere and try to give people a realistic and behind the scenes view of how it goes down on 125th Street, because he hasn't been out there no more. Sonetta hasn't really been out there no more. But these are where a lot of these guys made their claim to fame, and where they gave out a lot of information. This is where I found some information. So can you talk to us about 125th Street and these guys' connection to the 125th Street?
Well, 125th Street has been gentrified. It really started in the mid-90s, right? When they had forced, this was like an open market. It was an open market. Wasn't too many, how can we call them, the chain stores. There was a lot of chain stores on 125th Street. But also outside of the chain stores, you had a lot of individual tables where the merchants would be able to sell their products. Right. All different type of merchants, right? You had brothers from the continent. You had Latino brothers. You know what I'm saying? You had everybody, just merchants,
right?
Tables, all up and down 125th Street. They started to clean the area up. The first move was to move all the merchants down to a little lot.
Wow.
On 116th Street, right? That's when they started clearing it out for these chain stores. That was the beginning of the gentrification.
So this had to happen. This had to happen within the last 2 years, correct? This happened fast.
No. Like I said, this was the mid-90s was the beginning of it.
Oh, okay.
Now after 9/11, right? Things changed dramatically in the city, right? New York City in itself was actually an open market. Not only 125th Street, 116th Street, but you also have areas in Midtown Manhattan, like the famed 42nd Street, 34th Street, right, and 14th Street. All these little pockets, and downtown Brooklyn. You have all these open market spots where people could literally get their peddler's license and just be out there selling books, bags,
right, you
name it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
After the pre-gentrification period, in the I say around 93, 94, right?
Okay.
After Ahmaud Diallo, after he was shot up,
right,
what was they considered a storage area, right, where they had these merchants would come and get the bootleg materials, or they would get these little what you call fabrics and jewelry making things all up in that area.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? But it was known to have brothers from the continent. That's how he ended up getting tripped up. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
When the D's ran through there, you know, and just made an assumption that, you know, he was up to no good.
Okay.
So that, along with the move to 116th Street, kind of has Harlem shifting. You dig what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, by the time 9/11 hit, and there was a whole change in the finances of street peddling,
right,
in the city, you had this whole move now, because now the chain stores and the market suffered, and that whole area, Lower Manhattan, suffered. So what they're going to do? They're going to naturally clean out all the merchants, because the merchants is money that is not accounted for. You can't tax.
Right. That's a fact.
Fair exchange. I give you money.
Right.
You go about your business, and it doesn't circulate within the government.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they got rid of that in order to recapture that. We're Polight in the conscious community.
Let's talk about it.
That started transpiring maybe around 2004, 5, 6, or 7, somewhere around that area, right?
Right.
And they grew and grew and grew, but that was their mainstay. You get what I'm saying? And only then were they only in a certain couple of block radius.
Right.
You dig? So now you have everything in Harlem that gentrifies. So you no longer have us out there being the predominant merchants. Now you got Starbucks and Models and all these other stores. They are the big kahunas on the block. And all the mom and pop stores and the small merchants suffer.
Okay.
But the conscious community, because of who they are and what they have access to sell, right? They selling products, they selling books that only we are going to take an interest in.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it is for our growth, it's for our connection. You dig? So they were able to stay out there. The reason you don't see them out there as much anymore is because, again, once bags get dropped in our community, people no longer want to hear consciousness. They no longer want to connect to us culturally. You dig? So it comes in waves, you know?
Yeah, because
like
I'm listening to you, and I find it interesting, because that's exactly how it looked from the outside, and it's crazy that these so-called people doing the gentrification weren't able to see the jewel that was right in front of them. Because even being on the road, right, I would always tell myself, like, bro, I gotta go to 125th Street. I'm talking about this just from watching YouTube videos. It looked like it was fucking lit. Like they was bringing people from all over the world. Do you understand what I'm saying? To buy fucking books, or, you know what I'm saying? To come see Polight, or come see Sonetta, or come see, you know what I'm saying, Tazariak, or these fucking debates, you know what I'm saying, on 125th. So I find it interesting.
Both of the pills, red pill, blue pill, you see anyone out there. And then you right in front of the Apollo. So it's a cultural space. You dig what I'm saying? Everything is right there and was right there. But it's not going to continue to move in that manner. Why? Because the others don't see themselves in that. So they're not going to allow that to continue to flourish. You dig what I'm saying? Because the more you get into what's on 125th Street, the more you get into the books, the more you get into the DVDs that were being sold, the more you get into the crystals and the incense and the connections, right, to yourself, you're no longer looking to them for answers because they never had the answers to begin with.
Now you're bringing me.
You reach back and you find yourself, you make them irrelevant.
Now you're bringing me to
opportunity that they get to shut that down is gone.
Well, now
they don't always have to shut it down physically. They can shut it down mentally by just building around you. You understand? You got some people that's homeless and been homeless on 125th Street. You dig what I'm saying? And they just build up around them.
Right.
So you got a brother that may be sitting there 20 years, and this establishment, this building done changed faces 4 or 5 times.
Right.
6 or 7 different companies done had the building, and he's still destitute on the street. So they don't have to destroy you physically. They could just build around you and make you irrelevant.
Well, let me ask you a question.
An invisible man.
Let me ask you a question. And then I'm gonna show people exactly what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna come to the chats and we'll possibly go to the phone lines. But let me ask you a question. Do you think, because I think that there was a moment that, like you said, because you said it comes in waves, right? So I was able to see one like one of the major waves right around, I say, like between like 2012, 2013 to like fucking, you know what I'm saying, 2000, you know what I'm saying, 16, you know what I mean? Except like what all those, it was a lot going on. So basically, what I want to ask you is, do you think that people like, well, I never saw Ahmaud Johnson out there, but I'm gonna throw his name in there anyways. Ahmaud Johnson, Brother Polight, Sarnetta, what was his name? General Sarah Sunseti, Young Pharaoh. You understand what I'm saying? Because the reason I'm throwing these names out here, I'm not hating on them. I'm throwing these names out there because these are the first names that come to mind. So the question I want to ask you is, do you think that these people were handed the mantle, and do you think that they failed the people? Because from what was already established, and then you started putting the faces to it, you understand what I'm saying? It seemed like those faces failed the people. You can't show me one person out of all those people that has risen to the top to really like lead the people on some Malcolm X, on some real shit that's still going in. To that, what do you have to say?
Right. Well, the mantle was got by default. The mantle was only got because of social media. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, they didn't take it by putting in any work. They took it because they created an image. They was able to market themselves. They utilized the tool of the day to get an audience, but they didn't put in no work. So it's you know, you get the trophy by default. You said those names because those names are the most visible.
Exactly.
You understand?
They got the numbers,
What program did they have? What platform did they have? See, the people are not stupid. They're not just going to follow you. They're just not going to walk when you don't have a destination. What's your destination? How are we going to get there? Are we going to walk? Are we going to drive? Are we going to take the train? People want to know where they're going and how they're going to get there and what's going to happen when they reach the destination. None of those people had that. They were just talking. You understand what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with that, coming from an aspect of social awareness, right? Social gathering, social movement, you confuse the people. It's good for show. So that's all you did. You had people come to the show. They had a nice time,
right?
And then they went home empty.
Right.
You got the rewards for it because you put on a good show, and then you kept it moving.
Right.
That's all that is. That's all that it is. You see what I'm saying? Because all of them that you mentioned got some type of mental illness, some type of mental imbalance. That's why they cannot continue in a path of so-called leadership. So when you're looking at it from out of state and you're not in NYC, you think there's something magnificent. But you have the real power players, you have the real people that's actually putting in the work that don't really deal with them at all. It's like watching a con game from a distance. You dig? Those who already been bit, those who already know what the game is about, is just going to ignore it and keep it moving. But in ignoring that, we allow that to fester and become what it has been, which is now a joke.
And this is why we do.
Comes in that light, right? Now when somebody says they got the answer,
right,
they're the leader or they know the way, people looking at you with the cynical eye because these last 7-8 bozos said it, made the claim, you know, and now you got lawsuits coming and you got all
kind of crazy shit. Right.
You got this one talking crazy, looking like he done smoked a couple of jums. It looked ridiculous. And to answer
to what you're talking about, so people, because Brad Man, I like to bring up my receipts. You understand what I'm saying? We're not gonna stay on this long, but it's important because just like you said it, if we allow this to go on, they will continue to hustle and fuck over other people, right? And that will discourage people from trying to come into the light or try to come into the wokeness or consciousness, and we don't want that to happen. So this is why we do the pro-black scammer. So I'm going to show people exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to come to you, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, then we're going to move on to something a little bit more serious. So I just need you to sit right there for me for like a couple minutes, and then I'll come right back to you, okay? All right, so so what I want to do is get this clip up, man, so I can show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Let me go to my presentation. All right, let's get the Brother Polight presentation up, man, so y'all can know exactly what Brad Man is talking about. We can't allow this to keep keep happening to the black community. So I'm gonna show y'all real quick. This is the last time. Let me see. This is the last time. Here we go. This is the last time I saw Brother Polight. Right? This is the last time I saw Brother Polight. Before I just saw him in fucking Brooklyn the other day. This is the last time I saw him. Pay attention. Let's go. I ain't got to talk for him. He can talk for himself.
Discussion to have tonight. I'm extremely angry. I have an apology that's due to the people, and the people are due that apology, and I believe they also owe me an apology as well. And I'm going to tell you why. I got to the bottom of a very bad situation today, and I've come to terms with the fact that not only have I been set up, I've been set up in several ways on several occasions. Now, I don't talk about everything that I understand to be a setup because I don't want to sound like I'm a big-time conspiracy theorist. I'm not interested in sounding like a conspiracy theorist. I'm not tripping. So what I do know, with the data that we did collect, suspicious activity in the community as it relates to people castigating me publicly. We just do our research, we find out what's going on, and we just live our life. For starters, one of the main antagonists that I have on the internet, when we did the research, we were able to trace that that person is in fact associated with one of the tiers of law enforcement. But better to deal with the devil you know than to deal with the devil you don't. So I decided I'm not going to spill the beans on all the things that we found out about some of my trolls. These people are actually hired to do what they do. Pretty soon, I will blow up that spot as well. I'm just waiting. And in fact, there's two people that can directly connect to law enforcement, not through speculation, but through absolute facts. But yes, family, I can confirm that my greatest trolls are part of a conspiracy to take me down. But before we go into anything remotely close to that, I got another scenario that plagues me tonight. A scenario that greatly demands my attention. And what is that? This thing about people not receiving their orders or the services that they're paying for. Because I know what we do. Although I sat here and said people are full of it. When my brother Sai used to hit me up, I used to show him all sorts of receipts. Here's another receipt. Here's another receipt. Why people trip? And I would show him pictures of mail orders going out through the boxes. Things seem to be on the up and up. Brother Polight scammed me for my sister there is an agent. The brother there is an agent. I think everybody's wrong except for these mail orders is fake. I'm going to look like the liar. You think all these people are lying? And some of these people really got real hurt in their eyes. These black folks are the worst people on the planet. They're disappointed in me. They're mad at me. After organizing Bloods and Crips again, giving out clothes to the homeless, feeding the homeless, not just any food, but organic food, guess what happens? I try to use one of my bank cards. It ain't work. I try to use another one. That ain't work. To the bank to handle some business. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me try this bank card. Cancel. Denied. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? Story short,
So y'all get the idea. We're going to skip to this. That's the last time I saw him. Then I saw him, right, out here in so-called Brooklyn. And like Karim said, there's not much background back there. There's not much, I can't really tell where yet, y'all.
Secure yourself. Protect yourself at all times, like they say in boxing.
Huh?
Yeah, so you go to the
You see, I'm giving them the bread loaves. Where you at?
Limit loss. Read it. They'll actually show you a mile diagram and show you how to
right.
Game. But
pay attention.
The rest of it, do what it.
Pay attention. And this is what I found extremely interesting. This is what I'm about to break down real quick because I got Karim over here waiting for us. So I'm going to show y'all real quick what's going on with Brother Polight, man. Check him out.
Y'all woke up in all sorts of type of feelings this morning. I'm in my feelings. I hear the gossip. I hear these cats chirping out there. Your YouTube videos constantly bang, but y'all don't realize I'm really for the people. And right now, I'm all the way turned up. I'm tired of seeing my people get killed year after year from the same shit. While y'all over there posting videos, banging on each other, we got an enemy out here constantly killing us.
Now pay attention.
Now I know what you're thinking. But I'm going to ask everybody to let their racial convictions subside just for a second.
Is this poetry?
Because
what is this?
Killer of us all. And the leading killer of black people is cancer. It's diabetes. It's lupus. It's any of a number of those hosts. In fact, we're the fucking hosts. And so what I really want to talk to you guys about is this. How do we bang back against germs, microbes, bacteria, and viruses? How do you bang back against something that's 1/1,000,000th of the size of you?
Pay attention.
See these 9mm? Take a 357 out the fucking sky. But it's obsolete when it comes to a virus, germ, microbe, or bacteria. So what can we use?
Pay
attention.
As a father,
I pride myself in being able to take care of my children. And as a husband, I pride myself in being able to take care of my wives. But I cannot defeat the enemy, the open enemy, with this.
Pay attention, y'all.
But I can kick some ass with these. That's right. I'm going to kick major ass with these. So we got to have a conversation about these things right here. That's what we got to do. I know y'all think I'm bugged out, and this information will make you bugged out in a good way. So our conversation is going to be them versus us. And the first thing I want to talk to you about, triclosan. What about triclosan? Well, this is in your hand sanitizers and your antibacterial soaps, and even in your so-called good toothpaste. Triclosan causes the epidermis layer. It is there to protect us. Your skin more permeable. So they're telling you wash your hands.
So this is a video where he's trying to tell you all how to make your own, how to make your own hand sanitizer. This is what he tells you he's gonna do. Well, listen, he's gonna tell you how to make your own hand sanitizer.
So how do we go against it? So what now? Your nose, it makes you want to.
But before the end of the video, right? Before the end of the video, he's promoting this shit.
The food that feeds the proteins. This is the food that.
He's promoting Tom. This is what you call an IG affiliate.
Oh yeah.
An IG, an Instagram affiliate, a YouTube affiliate.
So
check out the close-up.
This is high in inulin. Inulin is a non-digestible fiber. That means
this is what he really selling.
Doesn't get digested. It stays there.
I know it took for a minute. I know it took a minute for me to get y'all there. I know. That's what I do.
It goes into the small intestine. Doesn't get digested. It stays.
He hit you with all that knowledge and then tried to sell y'all some goddamn fucking antibacterial lotion when he just told you I was about to show you how to make your own. I'm gonna come back to this and show y'all. I got Karim right here, man. I'm gonna bring Karim back up, man, because people really think that I be on some other shit, man. They really think I be on some other shit, man, when I be trying to show niggas the way, man. Let me get back over here to Karim, man. Karim, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so Karim, I just showed a video with Brother Polight, right? I showed a couple of videos, right? And I showed the last time we saw him.
I heard him.
Right, when he was fucking PayPal, like when he basically confessed to goddamn you know what I'm saying, being up like goddamn 60, 70, 80 racks on our ass. That's what I heard, you know what I'm saying, the last time before the whole PayPal, 400 cases, all that shit. That's the last time I saw him. Then he pops back up in Brooklyn. Then he pops back up trying to tell us how to make our own hand sanitizer, but by the time you get to the end of that video, because it sounds good, he say, yeah, I'm gonna show you the prebiotic. He's dropping a lot of knowledge, right? Like a lot of shit you need to know, right? But he starts out saying, we're gonna show you how to make your own hand sanitizer. But by the end of the video, he's selling you some hand sanitizer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah. I got to come back to you because you've had a closer look. You've been, you know what I'm saying, closer to these guys than I have. You've been able to see a lot more of these guys ascend and fall, should you say. And I'm just trying to figure out, how are people like Brother Polight still allowed to get away with what they're doing?
Because they all share the same acting coach. Him, 6ix9ine, you know, all of them. They have the same acting coach.
Talk about it.
It's all drama.
Talk about it.
It's all drama. You're already defeated. It's drama. This is now marketing, you know, research, right? You know, trying to find their key niche market.
Right.
You dig? Their audience to sell to. This is nothing but capitalistic business strategy. Sound like 6ix9ine to me.
But it do. I understand where you coming from, but it can't be 6ix9ine if he dropping so much knowledge on your fucking head. The words he was using, the science he was dropping, it was all making pure science sense to me, Kareem. I'm just saying.
Have you ever heard Jim Jones sermons? Have you ever heard Jim Jones?
So when you talk about Jim Jones, you're talking about the white preacher who was able to basically convince damn near 1,000 people to drink the Kool-Aid and kill themselves. That's the Jim Jones you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Have you listened to his sermons?
I've heard bits and pieces, but not all of them. But it's interesting that you say that's something to go back and study.
Yeah, listen to all his sermons and listen to how on point the message was.
Damn.
How inclusive it was. How global the message was. How pro-black the message was. And he was a lunatic.
Jim Jones.
Straight lunatic. High on drugs on a regular basis. Abusive. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All type of deviant behavior. Mm-hmm. But the sermons was filled with jewels. He broke down the entire United States government policies. He was sharp. You're going to have jewels coming from all over. Mm-hmm. But there are people who are who they are before they get the knowledge, before they are able to articulate.
Let's talk about it, Karim.
And that is going to come back out.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
You could get jewels from anywhere.
Yeah.
Quiet as kept. Whitey give you jewels too. These saltines will give you jewels if you listen to them. Right?
Right.
You could get jewels from anywhere.
Okay.
Especially if it's a part of a study that you didn't take time to research. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Somebody will hip you to some shit while they going in your pocket, while they stabbing you in your back, while they trying to touch your kids. You got to be mindful of that. Your tongue is sharp. How many jewels have Bishop Don Magic Wong gave you?
That's a fact.
Jewels.
That's a fact.
Right?
That's a fact.
Okay. You could get them from anywhere. You could get them from anywhere if somebody took the time to study. But that's when you have to watch a man's actions and not listen to his words. The actions. What is the end result that's coming from that shit that he's putting out of his mouth?
Right.
You dig? But
right.
They a lost cause. Wherever he show up, he's a lost cause. I'm telling you, he will never be in the P's. He will never be around no area where they know that he done beat somebody.
Right.
Dudes want to take his head off.
Right.
So it's a lost cause. Man, he's a clown right now. You know? You might as well go get him, you know, a new hairdo and put the rainbow.
Put the rainbow, just go all the way in.
Just go ahead through, baby.
Go all the way in.
Thing. Doing the exact same thing, baby.
Wow. 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 So there y'all have it, man. For Karim Johnson and myself, man. The episode. Let me get my what you call it. Another segment of the pro black scammers, man. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is the light. This is the light work. Now we about to get niggas the business. Now we about to talk about why I brought Karim on here this evening, and this is what I'm excited to talk to him about. So Karim, you are update on William Roddy Bryan, the third shooter, third killer. I ain't gonna say shooter, but third murderer in the Ahmaud Arbery case. You are aware that the person who videotaped, that's the person who taped it. You are aware that he has been arrested, correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, we said that was going to happen when we first discussed it.
Let's go. It's some real nasty shit going on with the Ahmaud Arbery case, and we about to break it down because y'all letting this nigga run around on the news hitting y'all with the oopty wop. William Roddy Bryan, y'all here he is right there on daytime television giving you a fucking interview when he should be in jail with the rest of these motherfuckers.
I had nothing to do with it. I was told I was a witness. I'm not sure what I am.
They have blocked him in. He's actually running from the nigga who's taping. He's blocked in. The person that's taping him is also after him, Mr. William Roddy Bryan, by his own words. He's actively pursuing Ahmaud Arbery. If he wasn't a part of the murder, then Ahmaud Arbery would be running to the man that's taping. But at this point, Mr. William Roddy Bryan's job is to box him in. Okay, so all right.
The lawyer helped him play himself by giving these interviews, by coming out on TV and speaking.
Dummy. You
know, just the dummy move.
So for those who are watching, and I want people to pay attention to what we're doing at the Angry Black Man Podcast. And this is what I want you, if you're new, I want you to hit the subscribe button. If you're new, I want you to go over to the 75th Precinct and make sure you hit the fucking subscribe button on YouTube. That's Karim Johnson's channel. This is what we're doing on the Angry Black Man Podcast. We've been putting in the fucking work. We've been putting in the fucking work. Karim, I'm about to show him 2 clips real quick, right? Because they don't understand. He just went to jail, but we've been talking about this shit. So I'm about to show him these clips real quick, and then we're gonna come back and talk about something a little bit more serious and more sinister, because I wanna know, is this white so-called supremacy, I hate that we call it that, white supremacy is racism, right? Is it connected to something more sinister, more serious? Is racism, is white supremacy, does that mean that you have a mental dysfunction, like what do they call it? Or does that mean that you're mentally challenged? You understand what I'm saying? Like how some people have multiple sclerosis and all these other fucking does it mean that you have is white supremacy a brain disease?